Welcome back. President Trump making a pair of key endorsements for the 2026 governor's race, supporting both Congressman Byron Donalds in his bid to become Florida's next governor, succeeding Ron DeSantis, and Vivek Ramaswamy in his run to replace Mike DeWine as Ohio governor. Both DeSantis and DeWine cannot run again because of term limits. Joining me now with more on his gubernatorial run in the Buckeye State is the man himself, Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, congratulations to you. Thanks for being here. It's a timely position because right now you're seeing the federal government kick lots of business back to the states. What do you want to do?
You're exactly right about that, Maria. The golden age for America is going to be a golden age for federalism. As Donald Trump succeeds, and I know he is, we're going to see education to healthcare kicked down to the states and to the people where they belong. Now, for my part, I don't want to just lead Ohio to be one of the better states in the Midwest, and we are one of the better states in the Midwest. I want to lead Ohio to be the best state in the nation to generate wealth and to raise a young family and to give your kids a world-class education. I want to turn our state into a kind of special economic region at the heart of the country, free of red tape, free of bureaucracy, the state where the American dream is actually the birthright for our children. People talk about the Rust Belt, Maria. I don't want to talk about the Rust Belt. I want to lead us to the Platinum Belt, the sectors of the future, from semiconductors to nuclear energy to even AI. And the way I think about this is if Silicon Valley led the way in the American economy for the last 10 years, I want to make sure it's the Ohio River Valley for the next 10 years. And that's my vision for taking this state to the next level.
And on education, you've talked about merit-based performance. You've also talked about making Ohio excellent, partly by tapping into the energy potential in Ohio.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, people think drill, baby, drill. They think Texas, which is great. I love Texas. But we got to drill, baby, drill in Ohio, thinking about the oil and natural gas resources underneath our own ground. That in many ways has gone untapped, especially in an era where energy demands are going to be going up with AI data centers and so on. But there is no economic excellence without educational excellence, and you put your finger on that correctly, Maria. We have to be the state that leads the way with merit-based pay for teachers, principals, administrators, and superintendents in the public schools. Yes, I want to take school choice to the next level. I'm a school choice evangelist, and we're going to go further in Ohio. But I also want our public schools to be able to compete with the best of those alternatives. And that means we have to start paying for performance for the teachers, where the best ones should get paid more for helping our kids excel in reading and writing and math where they're falling behind. But that means we have to cut a lot of the dead weight hanging around that isn't serving our kids well either. And I do think that we're going to hopefully be able to set a national standard. I'll call it the Ohio standard for the rest of the country, not just for school choice, where states like Arizona and Iowa have done great, but now also taking aim at lifting up the quality of curriculum and excellence in our public schools. Get the cell phones out of the classroom, so much more we're going to be able to do. And that's where I'm excited, Maria.
Well, Vivek, you also started Doge with Elon Musk. What is your reaction to all of this criticism from the Democrats who are attacking Elon as well as the Doge idea in general?
Look, the criticism is unsurprising and it is also unfounded. The reality of the matter is the people we elect to run the government should make the laws, not the unelected bureaucrats who have been wielding far too much power in our bureaucracy. President Trump is now actually the first president in a very long time who is running the executive branch of government with a mandate that the people of this country gave him. I want to be clear about this, Maria. The mandate the people gave President Trump isn't a mandate for incremental change. It was for foundational change, to revive the American dream. And I want people to remember it's not just what we're tearing down. It's also what we're building back up, which is that American dream in our country. We ought to be proud of it. And I'm incredibly proud of President Trump for what he's doing.
All right, Vivek, we'll be watching your work in Ohio. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.